Okay. Let's go. Ne aggódjatok, mindjárt itt a HDR-t véletlenül bekapcsolja, lesz ilyen tök fehér képernyőnk, aztán rájön, hogy nincs és visszakapcsolja, úgyhogy lehet, hogy lesz egy villódzás majd mindjárt, srácok, azért elnézést. Igen, most elváltja HDR-re, rájön, hogy nincs. Látjátok? Most... Ja, persze, nektek ilyenkor jó szokott lenni, mert ugye nektek letámogatja. Nekem szar ilyenkor csak. Jó, veletek mindig kivételez minden. Milyen dolog ez? Mindent a nézőért, mi? De... Nagyon rossz hozzáállás. Na, és akkor én most kapom vissza a normális képet. Milyen dolog ez, kérem szépen, mindent a nézőért. Jaj. Na, összefoglalás. Teljesen menjünk előről, hogyha valaki nem volt esetleg Mass Effect streamen. Ha vissza szeretné nézni, egész nyugodtan, de azért egy pici zárkózásra szükség van, meg közben felveszem a Mass Effect-es fogalmazásomat. Szóval, Eden Prime a Földnek az egyik legfontosabb új bázisa, nevezzük így. Valaki megtámadta, oda kellett mennünk kideríteni. Ez azért volt kellemetlen, mert alapvetően mi csak ellenőrizni mentünk volna a bázisunkat, és pont be akartak volna minket iktatni a fantomok közé, ami az ebben a játék világában játszódó legbedeszebb osztály. Nem vonatkoznak rá a különböző törvények, igazából az a célja az egész alakulatnak, hogy azokat a dolgokat, ami törvényes úton nem lehet megoldani, vagy politikailag nem túlzott a jó fényt vetne a különböző fajok közötti viszonyra, akkor hívják a fantomokat, és ők megoldják. Mindenki tudja róluk, hogy ha ők csinálnak valamit, akkor igazából ez a mosom kezemet, én nem tudtam róla, a kategória megy. Hát ez a része picit érdekes, de viszont szükség van arra, hogy ilyenek is legyenek. Szóval megtámadták az Eden 1-est, kiderült, hogy egy régi ősöktől leszármazott jeladót találtunk, amit meg kellett volna vizsgálnunk. Ez volt a célja, amiért mentünk volna. Viszont ugye kaptuk a hírt, hogy megtámadták a bázist, és röviden, tömören a lényeg az volt, hogy egy kiugrott fantom az, aki az egész támadás hátterében állt, aki valamiért szövetkezett a getekkel, egy teljesen mesterséges intelligencia által irányított fajjal, aki annak idején a kvarikat ugye kiűzte a területükről. Róluk láthattok leírás, stb. Minden korábbi streamekből. Na, úgyhogy az a lényeg az egészben, hogy valahogy be kellett először bizonyítanunk, hogy Saren, a kiugrott fantomügynök áll az egész mögött, mentek szépen jobbra-balra a bizonyítékok keresgetése, erre egy komplet streamet szántunk annak idején a Fellegvárba, ami a központja úgymond ennek az egész társadalmi szövetségnek úgymond, és vannak különböző bizonyítékok, különböző irányok, amerre el tudunk indulni. Van 2 bolygó, amit mindjárt meg is fogunk látogatni, de jelen pillanatban egy aszteroida mezőn vagyunk, ugyanis ezt megpróbálták volna kibányászni, de egy terrorista csoport eltérítette a bolygó körüli pályáról, és az volt a céljuk, hogy belevezessék a bolygóba, mondván, hogy nem tetszett nekik, hogy a múltban a Fellegvárnak a kormánya hogy bánt velük. Sikerült megakadályozni, hogy belevezessék ugye a meteorról létrehozott fúvókákkal, ami a pályán tartja, annak segítségével a bolygóba is megsemmisüljön, és itt a túszokkal való beszélgetés maradt vissza. Folytatni fogjuk ezután a főküldetést, és ugye most már 2 extra taggal is bővült, tehát bocsánat, 3 extra taggal is bővült ugye az állományunk, úgymond a Normandián. Velünk van ugye Vrex, egy Krogan harcos, velünk van Gerus, aki egy Turián, illetve velünk van Tali, aki pedig a Kvariknak az egyik képviselője. Ők hozták annak idején létre a geteket, ezeket a mesterséges intelligenciákat, fogalmazunk úgy, hogy ilyen földművelési és egyéb feladatokra, csak hát öntudatra ébredtek, mint a Skynet.
I can't believe you let Balak go to save us. I half expected you to just let us die, sacrifice the few for the many.
Ugyan már.
Then I'd be no better than the Batarians. Besides, Balak won't get away with this. I know who he is now. He can't run forever.
You sound like my brother. He was always so stubborn, but always willing to do the right thing, no matter what.
Your brother was the one Balak killed?
Yes. Aaron. He was the one who convinced me to join the team here. Said it would be an adventure. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I should see to Aaron.
I understand. You've been through enough today. I'll get out of your way.
Thank you. Oh, I don't even know your name.
Shepard. Commander Shepard.
Thank you, Commander Shepard. You're not exactly what I expected, but thank you.
What can you tell me about the Batarians? What were they hoping to achieve with all this?
I don't even think they knew. When they first arrived, they were talking about getting us back to their ship. They wanted to sell us as slaves. When Balak showed up, everything changed. It was his idea to redirect the asteroid. Said it was the will of the Batarian Rebellion, whatever that is. They followed him quickly enough, but I don't know. I don't think they're all as fanatical as he was.
That was a brave thing you did, Kate. Contacting me on the radio, risking your life.
Stubborn and determined runs in the family. My father was in the Alliance back on Earth. I think he was disappointed none of us kids signed up, but he'd be proud of Aaron. Sorry. I just...
How did the asteroid get all the way over here? And why wasn't someone alerted sooner?
The asteroid was scheduled to arrive in a day or two. Balak just sped it up. This rock is full of valuable minerals, but it was too far from Terra Nova to be profitable, so we attached some fusion rockets to it and drove it back. It was all going smoothly until... We'll get everything back to normal soon enough. Almost everything.
You've been through a lot. I'll get out of your way. So long, Kate.
I appreciate that, Commander. Goodbye.
Na. Ezzel lezárult akkor az aszteroidás küldetésünk. És ezt mondom, nézzétek meg, srácok, hogy a párbeszédek, meg a mozgások, meg minden mennyire durván néznek ki, ahhoz képest, hogy gyakorlatilag lassan már majdnem egy 20 éves játékról beszélgetünk. Tehát hihetetlen, hihetetlen baszki. És ugye oké, hogy finomítottak, meg fejlesztettek egy picit a grafikán, ugye, de azért mindent nem tudtak átdolgozni. És ez zseniális, hogy ez a játék mennyire korszakalkotó és előremutató volt annak idején, amikor megjelent. Ez hihetetlen. Na. Jó, mehetünk is ki a bolygóról igazából. Teljesen készen vagyunk. Oh.
You can't imagine how much you've done for all of us.
Ugyan már. Bárkiért megtettem volna. Jó. A holdat megszabadítottuk az AI-tól. az X-57-es aszteroidát megszabadítottuk a Bataril terroristáktól. Nagyon jók vagyunk. Kérdés, hogy a csapatom ezek után szeretne velem beszélgetni valamiről. Lemegyek, megkérdezem tőlük. Vagy mehetünk a küldetésre. Időközönként jó beszélgetni velük, mert vannak ilyen extra dumálós időszakok. Caden például.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Na mondjad.
Of course. Have a seat.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
That's not the appropriate way to address your commanding officer, Lieutenant.
Sorry, ma'am. Maybe I got a bad signal. And if you're a... maybe there's someone else you'd rather confide in. Ma'am.
All right, Alenko. Off the record, permission to speak candidly, cross my heart and hope to die. What are you talking about?
Dr. Tassoni, ma'am. There's a lower deck rumor that she's, interested in you as more than a source of Prothean data. She's a very interesting lady. Not to my, tastes, but,
Na már megy a feltérképezés.
You seem awfully worried about my personal affairs.
It's just that we don't have much downtime these days. I like being around you, but I don't want to take up your personal time.
Look, there's nothing between Liara and me. What's the real issue here, Caden?
You're right. Sorry. It wasn't, Liara's not my main concern. I'm not questioning any decision you've made, Shepard. Let me be clear about that. It's just my experience that once someone lets something slide, it tends to pick up speed. Do you get my meaning?
Talk to me, Caden. You got a little black rain cloud sitting over your head.
I'll try to keep the deck dry. You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. I mean, hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and EZO. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
Ha itt a párbeszédeknél meg a hosszabb dolgoknál esetleg halknak érzitek, srácok, akkor nyugodtan szóljatok, mert maxon van, de ugye picit én is halkabbnak érzem a párbeszédet, de lehet, hogy most csak valamiért nekem tűnik halknak, de szóljatok egész nyugodtan, és akkor ilyenkor adok rá, aztán amikor nagyobb harcok lesznek, akkor majd visszahalkítom. Nyugodtan szóljatok. De ha jó, akkor csak örülök neki.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
I'm sure Kinetics did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. To introduce himself, he liked to say, "I was at the helm of the dreadnought that killed your father." Well, I told him my dad wasn't in the war. He'd retired to Vancouver. My family had an inland home that matured to new beachfront. Vernus had it in for me after that. He cut corners, pushed hard. I mean, you either came out a Superman or a wreck. A lot of kids snapped. A few died. The point of all of this, I guess, is that when you cut corners, it's not always obvious who pays for it.
So why are you telling me this? Is there something I can do to help you get over it?
I'm 32, Shepard. You don't serve as long as I have without coming to terms with yourself. You also learn that if someone is special to you, try to keep them from making mistakes.
Special, huh?
If I'm out of line, just say the word.
You're not out of line, Caden. But there are regs.
I get you, Shepard. I don't make a habit of complicating the chain of command. Just think about what I said.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni. She seems nice enough. I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
Any intentions there, Lieutenant?
None, Commander. I prefer adventurous women.
We'll talk later, Caden.
I'd like that.
Na, tehát Caden megerősítette Shepard parancsnokot, nagyon szívesen dolgozik továbbra is a keze és a lába alá.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I should go.
Goodbye,
Még nincs
Commander.
beszélgetés. Liara Tsoni.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about
Annyira
my
jó
interest in
Liárának
you
a szinkron
and making
hangja,
a fool of
annyira
myself in the
eltalálták.
process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
We don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
Örülnek, ha elérik a 150-et? Azt a mindenit neki! Nehéz elhinni, hogy az egészségügy ennyit tudott fejlődni. Tudván, hogy mi... A milyenké hogy sikerül.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the woman you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Hát srácok, ezen a hajó mindenki engem akar megdugni.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Lieutenant Alenko.
You want a relationship with me? Even though we're both women?
We Asari are monogendered, Commander. Male and female do not have any real meaning for us. We do, however, have maternal instincts, so perhaps we would fill what you consider a female role. I'm sorry if this is awkward for you, Shepard. I am only trying to be honest. I feel as if we share some type of connection. But none of this matters if you are already involved in a serious relationship with Lieutenant Alenko.
A játékban igazából több oldalra is el lehet indulni, és megvannak azok a válaszok, amiket ha megadtok, akkor XY karakterrel igenis lehet szexuális viszonyt folytatni a játékban, de fogalmazzunk úgy, hogy egy karakter van, akivel úgymond mind a három játékon végigívelő, hát intim karriert lehet végigvinni úgymond, és Hát majd látjátok, hogy alakulnak a választások.
I care about Caden. A lot.
I thought so. Still, I feel as if there is also some attraction between us, Shepard.
És akkor itt most azt mondjuk neki, barátok maradunk.
I'm not interested in you in that way, Liara.
This is very embarrassing for me, Commander. Please, let's talk about something else.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Az asszárik legfőbb panteista vallása a Siari, mely tükörfordításban annyit tesz, hogy mindenki egy. A hívők számos alapigazságot magukévá tesznek. Az univerzum egy önálló lény, benne minden élet része egy nagyobb egésznek. A halál pedig mindössze annyit jelent, hogy a spirituális energiánkat visszaadjuk a végeláthatatlan univerzumnak. A sziaristák nem hisznek a közvetlen reinkarnációban. Szerintük a halál az univerzumba visszaáramló spirituális energia előbb-utóbb újabb haladó porhüvelybe kerül. A Siari népszerű lett, miután az asszárik elhagyták szülőbolygójukat és felfedezték azt a képességüket, melyek egybeolvadhatnak bármilyen életformával. Ezt a képességet bizonyítékként tekinték arra, hogy minden élet alapjában véve hasonló. A Siari papnői egységet hirdetnek az univerzumot széthúzó erők ellenében. A Siari panteizmus elterjedése előtt az asszárik annyi vallást gyakoroltak, ahány politikai nézetet magukénak mondhattak. A legerősebb, mai napig hívőkkel bíró vallása a monoteista Atem istennő kultusza. Az asszárikhoz hasonlóan ez az istennő is átesik a 3 életcikluson, vagyis a szűz, az anya és a mátriárka. És valami még van. Technológia. Ja, a biotikus dolog, amit ugye Cadennel beszélgetünk, hogy a biotikusok páratlan képességgel rendelkeznek ugyan, de kénytelenek együtt élni apró kellemetlenségekkel. A legfontosabb, hogy elegendő tápanyagot vigyenek be a szervezetükbe. A biotikus képességek használatához rendkívüli erőfeszítéseket kell hozni, így a biotikusok igencsak nagy étkűek. A szövetség naponta 3000 kalóriát biztosít katonáinak, de a biotikus bakák napi 4500 kalóriát is elfogyasztanak. A másik kisebb kényelmetlenség az elektromos töltés. Az űrhajók hajtóművében felgyülemlő töltést ki kell sütni, és bizony a biotikusoknak is hasonlóan kell cselekedniük. Ha fémhez érnek, akkor a biotikus képességekkel bíró egyének apró statikus kisüléseket produkálhatnak. Úristen srácok, mi is biotikusok vagyunk! Hát emlékezzetek vissza, milyennek tudunk rázni, hogy olyan dolgokhoz érünk hozzá. Nem is tudtam! Hát srácok, miket eltitkolnak előlünk a mai világban? Sajnálatos módon az emberi biotikusoknak szembe kell nézniük a többiek gyanújával és előítéletével. Ez abból a gyenge lábakon álló pletykából indult ki, miszerint a biotikusok képesek irányítani a többieket és tudnak olvasni mások gondolatában. A biotikus egyedek az emberi faj elembertelenedését szimbolizálják a génmódosítás és kibernetika ellenzők körében. A hadsereg az egyetlen hely, ahol szívesen látják a biotikus képességgel bíró embereket. Vagyis ez meg, amit nem ismerünk, attól félünk. Ez mindig is így van, így volt, és sajnos így is lesz valószínűleg ezek szerint a jövőben is, hogy amit nem vagyunk hajlandóak megismerni, tehát van, amit nem ismerünk, nem is vagyunk hajlandóak megismerni, ezért félünk tőle, és el akarjuk pusztítani kategória. Ez az emberiségnek az egyik legjobb tulajdonsága, erről szarkazmussal mondva.
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Hogy ráadásul a faterja volt, az igen.
Jared was your father?
He was, until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
So long, Rex.
Neki is faszott családja van.
Shepard.
Szegény. A Kroganok Zord szülőbolygója megedzette a nép lelkét és testét egyaránt. A Kroganok mindig is hajlamosak voltak az önzőségre és részvétlenségre és a modortalanságra. Tisztelik az erőt, az önállóságot és nem igazán lepődnek vagy sértődnek meg, ha elárulják őket. A gyengék és önzetlenek nem élnek sokáig arra felé. A kultúrájukban szinte hagyományosan az egyéni teljesítményt becsülik. Miután vereséget szenvedtek a lázadás után, a Krogan vezetés hiteltelenné vált. Egykor egy hadúr olyan hatalmas sereggel bírt, hogy akár egész naprendszereket is térdre kényszeríthetett. Ma már ritka, ha egy Krogan törzsfőnöknek 1000 harcosnál többen esküsznek hűséget. A legtöbb Krogan nem bízik senkiben, kizárólag saját fejük után mennek. Egy magánzó attitűd a fajtában mélyen gyökerező fatalizmusból és hiába valóság érzetéből ered, melyek a génfaló nevű szaporodást ellehetetlenítő biofegyver bevetését követően ütötték fel fejüket a Kroganok körében. Nem csak dühíti őket, hogy az egész galaxis a végüket akarja, de még pessimisták is a faj túlélését illetően. A fennmaradt Kroganok nem látják értelmét a jövő megszépítésének, lévén nincs jövőjük. A Kroganok önző módon fosztogatva, gyilkolászva élnek, hiszen a faj bármikor kihalhat. Hát igen, ők nincsenek túlzottan a legjobb helyzetben.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Are you interested in the lieutenant, Chief?
No, ma'am. And anyway, Scuttlebutt says he's already sweet on someone. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I met Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Eskü, ezt akartam mondani, hogy úristen, baszki, azt el tudjátok képzelni, hogy valakinek van 4 lánya, meg még a felesége is? Azt a mindenit neki, srácok. Szerencsétlen férfi. 5 nő ellen. Pff, ez már nem túlerő, hallod?
Where did you grow up?
All over. Same as you expect. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on duty.
Yeah, military families, eh? With schedules like that, it's a wonder we ever have kids anymore. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen LY away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known. Cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter, only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Na, innen is megtudtunk egy csomó mindent. Haladunk. Ilyen 2-3 küldetésenként vannak új beszédek általában velük. Na, most megtudunk róla, mint a szövetségről. A szövetség hadserege fontos tényezővé vált a galaxisban. Amikor a turiánok megtámadták őket, még teljesen tapasztalatlanok voltak. Aztán a turiánok megvetése hamar tiszteletté vált, miután az emberek felszabadították a Shanxi kolóniát. Az emberek alkalmazkodó készsége lenyűgözte a tanács megfontolt tagjait. Évszázadokon keresztül a már jól bevált technológiák és taktikák biztonságos függönye mögött éltek. A tanács alvó oroszlánként tekint a szövetségre. Az emberek kevesebb, mint 3%-a áll be a seregbe, ez az arány egyik fajnál sem ilyen alacsony. Bár igen képzettek, a szövetség katonái mégsem annyira profik, mint a turiánok, és nem annyira ügyesek, mint az asszárik. Erősségük az űrtüzérségi támogatás, a rugalmasság és a sebesség halálos kombinációja. Lehet, hogy nincsenek sokan, de kifinomult technológiák egész tárházával rendelkeznek a csatatéren, víg, robotok, tüzérség, elektronikus hadviselés és rendkívül kezdeményező készséggel bírnak. Őket nem arra képezték ki, hogy a turiánokhoz és kroganokhoz hasonlóan kemény rohamokkal támadjanak. Az emberek szeretik kikerülni az ellenséges haderők gócpontjait, és inkább hátulról támadnak, elpusztítva az ellátmányvonalakat, a főhadiszállásokat és a támogató egységeket. Ha védekezésre kerül a sor, akkor az emberek Sancu maximáját Mi a szar? Sancu maximáját követik, miszerint aki mindent meg akar védeni, az semmit sem tud megvédeni. Ja, értem. Az emberi kolóniákat igen könnyű elfoglalni, ezért a szövetségi média gyakran kritizálja a hadsereget. Ennek ellenére hatalmas flották állomásoznak központi helyeken, így pár nap vagy akár pár óra elteltével azonnal a helyszínen teremnek, és elképesztő erejű válaszcsapást mérhetnek ellenségeikre. Oh yeah! Na nézzük, mi újság Garusnál.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
Ezt lehet, hogy már beszéltük vele.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate.
Azt hiszem nem.
That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a
Finchy story.
But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatening? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off.
Lol, az igen.
The victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
It's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that, but Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Oh! Na, nice. Megnézzük. Na, Turian biológia. A Turianok szülőbolygójának, a Palavennek fémszegény magja van, így mágneses mezője is igen gyenge, ezáltal több sugárzás utált a légköröm. Egyébként itt tök jó, én nem tudom, én nem ezt a betűtípust választottam volna, ez nagyon szar olvasni egyébként sokszor. Legalábbis nekem nem tetszik. Szóval a Turianok szülőbolygójának, a Palavennek fémszegény magja van, így mágneses mezője is igen gyenge, ezáltal több sugárzás utált a légköröm. Hogy kivédjék ezt a környezeti hatást, a Palaven számos élőlénye fémes burkot növesztett az evolúció során. Ja, akkor ez... Aha. Tükröződő lemezes bőrük miatt a Turianok kevésbé érzékenyek a hosszú távú alacsony mértékű sugárzásra, de nincs rajtuk természetes testpáncél. A Turianok vastag bőre nem állítja meg a lövedékeket és nem veri vissza az energialöketeket. A Palaven élővilága ugyan szén alapú és oxigént lélegeznek be, mégis dextro aminósavakból építkezik. Emiatt a turiánok a galaktikus kisebbség egyik képviselői. Rajtuk kívül a kvárik és másik ismert dextro fehérjés faj. Az emberek asszárik vagy szalárik tápláléka, akik levoaminósav alapú bioszférában fejlődtek, egyszerűen áthalad a turiánok szervezetén anélkül, hogy tápanyaggal látná el őket. Legrosszabb esetben olyan allergiás rohamot is kiválthat az étel, mely halált is okozhat a megfelelő kezelés hiányában. Lol. Igen, azt megnézzük, és akkor még beszélgetünk Talival egyet, aztán nyomás.